Hi everybody, Mark here, live from the trainer's desk, Monday between 1 and 2. Thank you for joining us. We have a very short session today, but an incredibly interesting one. And I'm going to be talking to you about the power states today. So anybody that doesn't know me is just tuning in. My name's Mark Shields. I'm the founder of the NLP Coaching Company, an NLP trainer, and co-author of the Cam Coach book. Every Monday we're going to be streaming live to you with top tips to enable you to live better lives, spread the NLP word, develop a set of success strategies that you can use for yourselves and your clients, and generally going to get things going this early in January. So I want you to start thinking about the power of the mind, okay? The power of the mind. And we have a history of over 10 years of working with various people. Of course, although we are trainers of NLP, we still practice NLP every week live with clients. So every week we are reminded how powerful NLP can be. And of course, we are enthusiastic when we train it, because the week before we're delivering the training, we've been working live with clients and seeing how this rapid change solution can transform people's lives. They walk in the door with a problem and they leave the room an hour later, and the relationship with that problem has changed. So a really powerful thing. And people pay lots of money and dedicate lots of time to learning NLP, understanding the way it works. And as practitioners, we have the skills, knowledge and confidence to be able to facilitate change with most people most of the time. So it's an extraordinary strategy. And today we're talking about the power states. Now, I'm a firm believer in empowering people to be able to leave your practice after working with you with some techniques and some tools, and use things themselves when they're on their own. The me time we talk about, that 20 minutes every day that people should take away and recharge their batteries for themselves. And I'm talking today about the power states. So the power states is a way of utilising an NLP trance-like state yourself, and benefiting from being able to control and go through a process whilst you're in that state to deliver change. It's called creating your own day by some people. It's called mental rehearsal by some hypnotherapists. But it's just a way of focusing your mind in a certain way at a certain time to influence the way the day goes for you. So I want you to think about when we train this on our courses, we describe ourselves as when we're born, we are of id status. We have no learned behaviour, views, opinions, negative thoughts. We have nothing. We develop an ego over a period of time, and some of us develop an auto ego, super ego even. But there is a time, twice a day, when we revert back to that id status. So that status where we have no preconceived ideas, we have no learned behaviours, we're not running any programs through perceptive experience. We are just back to where we were. And that time of day is just as we go to sleep at night and as we wake up in the morning. Now, that brainwave state is known as the Theta brainwave state, and it's very important that we get it right. So it's not as you lie there for many minutes before you go to sleep. It's that moment just you drift into a trance-like state before you go to sleep. And in the morning, it's as you awaken, and it's that first few seconds, and once you get the hang of it, several minutes that you can stay in that state for to influence what happens in the day ahead. So how do we do that? You're all thinking, well, that's very interesting. I mean, I found this fascinating. So we're entering a theta brainwave state that we know already exists, and we know we're going to be in there with no preconceived ideas, which is as we drift off to sleep in the evening and as we wake up in the morning. So the best way to drive that is by preparing. So if we are working with a client, let's use an example live, with presenting nerves, we will change their relationship. We will facilitate that change with the client in terms of their relationship with presenting. We will remove all the associations with fear and the whole anxiety piece. But this is a technique that clients can do, we can do on our own, away from going to see an NLP practitioner. So let's just go a little deeper into the power states, that theta brainwave state, that light trance-like state as we drift off to sleep and as we wake up in the morning. And the way I've always done it, and the way it's always worked for me, and the way I've always encouraged students and clients to do it, is to have 5. If we use the example, we're talking about perhaps a presentation the following day. That's an easy example to use for somebody, and a lot of people are very nervous about that kind of thing, and understandably so. So as you're drifting off to sleep, have 5 titles in your head, 5 titles that relate to experiences where you've delivered a good presentation in the past. Think of 5 cases, examples where confidence was very prevalent and apparent, and you can cast your mind back to that if confidence is the negative emotion disturbing your presentation. Often confidence is the problem. Over 90% of people suffer with it. So let's just go back. So we are lying in bed, nice and quiet, drifting off to sleep, eyes closed, and just as you drift off to sleep, just focus on those 5 times that you can associate yourself with when it comes to being confident and delivering a presentation in the past. If you struggle with that, you can then just think about all the things, the positive things. Of course, you've got to force this thinking, you've got to make this happen at a conscious level when you're just drifting off to sleep. But think about your key learnings when you have delivered presentations in the past. Perhaps they haven't gone so well, perhaps there's things to be learned, but you will find in each one of those something that you learned on the day, something that went well. There always is, and you pick up on that. Then as you wake up in the morning, and before you become fully awake, so as you're in that theta brainwave state, you've got your eyes closed, you're just coming to, and you focus on what's going to happen the day ahead of you. And again, you divide your challenge. So let's assume it's a presentation. You divide it into 5. Okay, so you have a start, a middle, and an end, and 2 interim markers. And you then just focus going through that process in your mind successfully and with confidence from the theta brainwave state, lying in bed. So to repeat that, you're lying in bed and you just walk yourself through successfully, confidently, visually, and watch yourself go through that presentation in advance of doing it. You'll find when you do this that you're creating a positive state. You're creating via future pacing some really positive behavioural patterns that you'll find you slip into when you actually get into that presentation position. So you can do this with anything. Okay, the important thing to remember is if we summarise, number 1, we are able to tap in to a resourceful theta brainwave state every day without seeing anybody. Number 2, it happens naturally as we go to sleep and as we wake up in the morning. Number 3, we just need to focus in there and work on allowing those theta periods to get longer, because once you get into this, you can influence it. So for example, people don't wake up in the middle of the night anxious. It takes a while before that whole all those programs start running and you start doing anxiety or depression or whatever it is you're doing, we're getting in before that happens in that early stages of theta, so we can push all that stuff away and forge a positive program that we are in control of for the next 24 hours, and you'll be amazed the difference and the impact it will have on the way you perform that day. And finally, you want to do it every day for a period of 3 or 4 weeks and be reviewing progress all the time. The biggest learner is getting the theta brainwave state right. I mean, I can remember working with somebody quite recently that was, I thought we were going really well, but when she told me that she did it after she had her cup of tea, I got a little confused. It's as you wake up. So you're in a trance-like state, you can hear things going on around you, you then can focus your conscious brain, your Mr. Spot brain, on those 5 things about today that you're going to do that are going to be successful. So this creates a very, very positive mindset, and it's really, really good. Lots of sports people use it. It's very, very popular, and it's called a number of things, but I've chosen to call it the power states because it's something that you can use every day. So I hope you enjoyed that. That's just a really brief session on the power states, taking control of your mind, taking yourself from the id state where you want to go rather and before you start absorbing all of your perceptions, programs and everything that we all run every day in response to all the things that happen to us every day. So take control, use that power state first thing in the morning and ensure that your day runs to plan. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. That's a 10-minute session from the trainer's desk. Next week we're talking about the 5 big strategies to change your life, which is another fantastic session for you to share. We're actually picking all of the best things, and when you try and do that, we've got so many of them. So we have lots to tell you throughout 2018. And just to finalise, below in the link box you will see links to our free resource. So we have a free NLP and life coaching course at the moment that you can have a look at. We have a workshop for goal setting that we talked about last week. We have courses coming up. So we have a prac 19th to the 24th of March, and we have some really high quality, well accredited online courses right across NLP, clinical hypnosis and life coaching. So we have lots to offer you. You can choose how you want to learn. If you simply just want to get in touch and ask a few questions, there are links below. Please do so. If you have any questions, please feel free to fire them at me. Anyway, that just leaves me to say thank you for watching. I'm Mark Shields, live from the trainer's desk, pushing out the NLP word. Have a great week. See you shortly. Bye for now.